A lot of people are getting upset with Windows and all their updates and every new version of Windows having problems, but a lot of people also don't want to go to Apple because they're very expensive to buy and even more expensive to repair. So tossing around between those two, we have Linux, which is based on Unix, the same operating system that Apple is based on. So you're getting the stability like an Apple product, but you're getting the real cheap system like Microsoft. Although Linux is actually free in many of the flavors that they have. They even include Run on Linux in Windows 10, which you can see here. I'm going to show you a little bit about running Linux in Windows, as well as how to do an installation of Linux Mint. Coming right up, so stick around. The first thing you want to do is click the start button and type in turn Windows features on and off. Once it populates in here, you want to scroll right to the very bottom and look for Windows Subsystem for Linux. Put a check mark on that, click OK, and it's going to want to reboot your computer. Once it reboots, we can now go into the Windows Store and do a search for Linux. And what's going to come up, you'll see Run Linux on Windows. Click into there and you're going to see there's several options to choose from, but we're going to go into Ubuntu and get the product. I'm not going to bother allowing to use across all devices, but it should start downloading and installing right away, and I've got this sped up quickly here because it took a long time. Once it's done, you can launch it right from there, or what I'd like to do is close that and make sure that I can access it through the start menu, maybe pin it to the start and launch it from there. So the problem with this is that it's a command line program only. You don't get the full graphical interface as you do using the other method that I will show you. So if you want to navigate your Windows computer and do things with the command lines of Unix or Linux, then this is a great way of doing that inside your Windows operating system. So now I'm going to show you how to install Linux on your computer, or you might want to use a spare computer unless you want to overwrite this operating system you have with Linux. So make sure if you're playing around with that you got a full backup done first. So let's get started with the live CD USB. Once you have a USB or a CD that's bootable for Linux, you can boot from that and it will load it like this and go right into the desktop where it's got an icon on the desktop to install Linux. You could just try Linux out from there, from the live CD or USB if you want to, or run it and install it right from there. So you can see here, you can follow the prompts, accepting all the defaults if you're not sure of what they are. You will have to specify your city where you live, and if you're not sure exactly how it's spelt here or worded, then you might have to try a few variations of it. A lot of this stuff's obvious here. You can choose your name and the computer name, how you want it to appear. Create a good strong password for yourself as well. And then you can choose if you want to have it log in automatically when it boots up, or to prompt you for a password every time. It's a good idea to have it prompt you every time, because that way what you keep entering every day you're not going to forget. So from here it will run through a very lengthy install, which I've sped up 1,000 times. so we're not going to have to sit here and wait for it. Now once it's done, it'll ask you to continue using it if you'd like, or you can restart it right away. Of course, you'll have to take out the USB or CD and then hit enter when you're ready. And it comes right back in here where you'll see a few options to check out the documentation if you want to read about it and some of the other information. Obvious things is going into your computer, and you'll be able to see your desktop documents, pictures, music, and all those kind of standard things that you would expect to find all your documentation. And the home is also a similar thing to access your files. Through the start menu, there's where all the programs are, but we're not going to be getting into that in this video. It goes beyond the scope, but that'll be for a new video. So thanks again for watching. Ring the bell to get notified every time we come out with a new weekly video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.